Oh yeah, here we are. This is the very first video game that I ever worked on. Well, technically I painted some rocks in He-Man for the same company, but we are playing Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines as this little studio called Tanico. So let me turn my volume down here a little bit. This is a game that I worked on, so I'm going to give you a lot of info and updates on little anecdotes, some stories, some experiences of what it was like at the very first video game that I got to work on. Now, I wasn't new to being a professional artist. I was just new to working in games. So I had been a comic book artist up to this point for about 9 years, and I was looking for something else to do because, quite frankly, comic books were, well, they were a rough business. Oh my gosh, there's an attract mode. I'm going to try to stay on the title screen. And the long story short is that the owner of Tanico Games was a comic book fan, and he was interested in expanding and bringing in some artists. And he was also, more than that, he was a comic book fan, and he wanted to interview me based on a series I had done called Ghost Rider in about 2000 and 2001 for Marvel Comics. I was just a penciler on it, but it kind of like helped my career. And I happened to work in Los Angeles at the time, and he was down the road. They were in Santa Monica. So I met with him. He's a French guy, Patrick Charpenay. I still to this day consider him my mentor, and he was my close friend. I had really wanted to work in video games, and having this interview and having this lunch with this guy just really opened my eyes up to the possibility that I could, being that I was a guy who lived in Los Angeles, that maybe I could go and work at a video game company and leave the comic book world behind. Now, some people would be very agitated by that. Why would you leave such a cool industry as the comic book industry? Well, I love video games. I've grown up loving video games. It's something I always wanted to do. I'm fulfilling my dream now by running an indie game studio, and so much of everything that I do now is because of the period of time that I spent working at Tanico Games on games like Terminator 3. Now, we only had 3 months to make a game back then, and all of this was built on the engine from the He-Man game that they had built previously. It was a small team of only 5 people. I did 90% of the artwork, although a lot of the characters were rendered in 3D and then put into the 8-direction movement that you're going to see. It's kind of a top-down 3/4 view. I designed this interface. It was I had just learned Photoshop, so taking the actress's photo and working that into the low pixel thing was all new to me. There was no school for like doing this perfect pixel art that's like 90 degree or perfect like cornering. I don't even know the terminology they use for pixel art, but there was a lot of restrictions. We could only use 256 colors, and everything you're seeing on screen here is within a 16 color palette. You can't do more than that on the Gameboy Advance. So getting that glow around the logo was really tricky, and you'll see a lot of things that just look like they're low res and they should have been higher res. I don't know how the multiplayer works. It barely had anything to do with that. But the menus themselves, all based on Photoshop, things that I had designed and then programmed in. I did this, I believe I did this level select screen as well. Again, I was brand new. I was using Corel Painter, I think, at the time. And there were a lot of really challenging things that we had to try to figure out how to do. I was very keen on trying to use the actors from the film in the game, and in some cases touch up the artwork so that it looked a little bit more hand-drawn, but mostly it was just the kind of low-res images. I didn't really paint much there. It was just touching it up and adding in those cool kind of like transceiver lines over the top. For some reason, I thought dithering just looked really cool, so I put it in everything. Terminator, you've been reactivated to serve the human resistance. I did not write the script. I believe this was written it might have been written by Patrick, the studio head. He ran his studio out of an apartment above his home, which I thought was really different than what I had expected, I thought that video game companies all had to have offices and people wear suits and all that stuff, and I just kind of like, it was a real eye-opening experience to drive to Santa Monica every day. I was living in Long Beach at the time, doing that just about every day and working on video games, and that was just really fun. Got to play a lot of games with the crew too, and that was also really eye-opening, and I began to realize I like the smaller teams way more than I like working for big teams. So I designed this user interface as well. A lot of it is inspired by Metal Gear, things like the, obviously, you know, that was a real influence on me. It had just come out a few years before that. So things like this scanner with the red on everything, it came from that. And so characters were not drawn by me, but every tile of the background you see was drawn by me. And one of the things that you'll notice is here, like, see how there's a little bit of that, like, cyan or green blue in the black, in the rubble up there? Oh man, I gotta throw grenades at these things. So pick up more grenades and a key card. That'll allow me to open the next door. So the reason for that is because everything has to fit within a 16 by 16 pixel tile, and every 16 by 16 tile has to use one of the rows of 16 rows of 16 colors. So that's how you get the 256 colors palette. All these things are like, most of the new games that come out don't even have to be concerned about this. And I could have done a way better job of like having less noise on the screen, and I've got my own criticisms of this stuff. But again, I was really new to game dev, and this was where I was really learning the ropes. You've got 8-direction movement here, which means there's down, there's up, there's left, there's right, but then there's also down right, up right, left up, and left down. So you've got your 8-directional movement, and every animation has to be done rendered like that. And you'll notice like some of them, like down left, it's 1 frame. Down right, 1 frame. Down is 1 frame. But there's like a little bit of an idle in some of them. No, there is not an idle. Look, there is a little bit of an idle there. Yeah, he kind of does this little shift, but that's why it's not really pixel clean. Like, and especially when you're doing something that's like a very realistic proportion thing. This is why most of the old games, by the way, like the games from the Super Nintendo era and the Game Boy Advance era, that's why they did a lot of stylized stuff, because proportions are just easier to read on more exaggerated features. I had a lot of fun doing these like craters and painting these like back walls, and I really wanted to do something that was very Metal Gear-ish with this. That was just my dream, was to make Metal Gear. And then when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out around this period of time, I ate that up, you know. But I was kind of frustrated that I was working in 2D pixel art, and but it was such an incredible opportunity, and I had to learn Photoshop on the fly. I think I just used that key, by the way. Yeah, here we go. Notice, I mean, you can see the Metal Gear influence with the transceiver imagery. I mean, that totally looks like Campbell, you know, resistance fighter, generic resistance fighter guy. Thermovision. I'm probably not going to play through the whole game, but we're going to play a little bit of it. So the reason why you have these laser things here is to communicate that you can't jump down there. So what we're actually looking at is basically just there's what's called a collision map, and that is basically like tiles that we don't really see, but they determine what the walkable space is versus the non-walkable space. And without that collision map, the player could walk on the side of that wall or jump down, and it wouldn't really be jumping down, it's just walking straight across. We create the illusion of depth by doing this 3/4 view. Oh man. Oh boy. Oh well, good thing they're easy to kill, these things. Whoa boy. You couldn't do things like have cutaway walls like in Baldur's Gate or anything like that. Not in this era of time. What's this thing? Oh man, I'm running out of ammo. Oh yeah, that's just so that you can have like a little bonus health pick up there. So I did design the retro stereo health bar down there as well. The user interface with the weapons. Oh, you can change to the punch. Oh, it's totally Metal Gear. Look at that. Like you can press up or down to swap out your items. That's really cool. Yeah. The programmers must have hated my design influence, because everything I was doing was like, nah, dude, they did it so perfectly with Metal Gear. That was just, I remember just going in and constantly pushing that. So, okay, I got those. Oh, I do have a gun. Okay, cool. Oh, wait, that's one of my own guys. This door cannot be opened until the generator is destroyed. I don't remember if that's the actress from the movie or if I painted her. She might be a painting, actually. She kind of looks like my old art style. I did a lot of drawings of women when I worked at Jenko Jeans, which was right before I did this. Look at that sorting glitch. So the Game Boy Advance has a very limited amount of sorting that you can do. And in fact, it really fakes it. And I don't remember even the technical side of it because I wasn't into programming at the time. I didn't really want to deal with programming, and it wasn't of interest to me, and nor did I really feel that I would be good at it. I did not have a very technical mind. I was much more freeform, and in fact, you can see it with things like the art where it just got really organic, and I wanted a lot of custom pixels, custom pieces. I think she probably told me what I'm supposed to do, and then I don't do it. Look. I'm not even doing the thing I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? I don't remember how to play. Oh my god, it's been 20... How many years? 23... No, just 20 years. Oh, don't do that. No, I didn't do the animations. Look, I'm in robot form. Oh, robot meat. Oh, it's in the profile too. I blew my own skin off. Okay, all I can do is punch. Oh, it's up at the top. What am I doing? Let's just get up there. I don't know if I'll even get past the first mission. Yeah, robot meat. Let's do it. See, like the sorting on that rail right there? That's not easy to do, man. Super high tech for the time. I think that just about every game I've worked on has become like a cult hit, like has a cult following. I think there's a cult following for this game. I'm pretty sure. The T3 heads. So here's the interesting thing. Right now I'm just fighting robots. Oh, can I break this wall? Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember painting this little doorway entrance here. It's pretty neat. And by the way, so the art director or the director of the studio was also an artist. And so he would go in and add a lot to the art as well. And so there were he was also the designer, and really like I was just kind of a hired gun on that one. I was really learning the ropes and also struggling with a lot of personal things and like really learning how to separate being a creator from being an employee. And they're very different things. And I commend my boss at the time for being so patient with me, because I really didn't know what the heck I was doing with art or my career or even life for that matter. I was a small town Indiana boy who moved to the big city, with nothing but big dreams to work in video games. And I had all these ideas like about how things were supposed to be from the perspective of like a comic book creator, not like thinking like an employee at all. And I ended up having to really restructure my thinking a lot. And if you are curious at all about what I'm talking about, check out my YouTube channel about working as a video game artist. Oh, what's this? This microchip was booby-trapped. Skynet is spawning troops at your coordinates. Oh, crap. It's a setup. I get a little lost. I'm not crazy about some of the level design, but, the thing is that the system itself was very limited. Oh, you know what, dudes? I bet I gotta head all the way back. I didn't even catch it. Let's see. Well, there is an objective marker up at the top. You notice there's like a compass? And that is kind of telling me to go down this way, so... Careful, Terminator. Some Skynet units are more powerful than others. You can tell the difference by their colors. Good luck downstairs. Oh man, I threw a grenade already. Oh crap. You gotta take pot shots and then move. This is the Dark Souls of Game Boy Advance games right here. It's the Elden Ring of Game Boy Advance. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's down this way. So that compass really helps, actually. Can I get through here now? It kind of looks like it. I mean, it's breaking a little bit, right? Yeah, look. Totes. Oh, crap. So there were some restrictions, some things that you should know. First of all, so at the time, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was running for governor, the governor of California. And, oh yeah, we got some unique tiles down there. Look at that. So he was running for the governor. And so he's like, hey, my character, he can't, I'm not going to do an impersonation, but he says, my character, he can't kill anybody in this movie or in this game. None of the games featuring Schwarzenegger as the Terminator could kill anybody. And we're like, okay, so how are we going to make a game about a Terminator that doesn't kill anybody? So when enemies die, they go, and then they crouch, and then they get up and run off screen. It's totally hilarious. You'll see what I mean in a little bit from the movie. Is that C4 going to blow? It is. Nice. Wow. Yeah, I painted all this. Supposed to be like the future, by the way. So at the same time that we were developing this, I think Atari was also developing a 3D Future War kind of a game for the PlayStation 2, I want to say. Yeah, it would have been PlayStation 2. And that was really exciting. And it was all set in the Future War. And we're like, well, we got to have a bunch of stuff in the Future War. That's the part that most like focus groups said they wanted to see more of. And so we based our whole first mission on the Future War stuff. But most of the game is not in the Future War. There's a lot of back and forth. Check this out. Oh, man. I think I got a shield. Yeah, that's my meat shield. Yeah. Woof, woof. It's hard to aim these things. By the way, so much better on a bigger screen. When we were making this, we had to like test it on a Game Boy Advance. Yeah, so this was all also, by the way, I painted all the textures for the backgrounds for this stuff. Oh, I should change my, how do I change my weapon? Oh, you can strafe or you can run. Oh, neat. I didn't know that. Oh, that's super cool. Hey, all right. Ooh, I got a submachine gun. Let's switch to the punch. I don't want to waste my C4. Protect this doorway from all enemies. Oh my gosh, this part. Oh my goodness. Got to fight a bunch of other Terminators. Mission failed. Oh, you got to defend the door. Okay, got him. So you got to basically hold them off from... If they reach this door, it's like mission over or something, I think. Yeah, something like that. We got some grenades. That'll come in handy. Real tricky stuff, by the way, to try to do these like angles. Look at that. There's like a staircase back there without any lighting too. Oh, this was not easy. But again, you know, we only had like 3 months to make the whole game. So I learned a lot about like budgeting a project. Well, first of all, immediately after doing this project, we pitched something else. And I can't talk about it because it's, you know, even though it's 20 years ago, it's like NDAs and stuff. We pitched a game to Capcom, I believe. And I learned a lot about pitching games working with Tanika, working under Patrick. Just in general, lots of things about how to pitch a game, how to structure your game design. I learned a lot about game design too, even though I wasn't necessarily doing that on this game. Let's see. Thanks for freeing me from this tight spot. I'll use a key card I've recovered to open the next door. I'll meet you there. Oh, man. By the way, I still have a copy of this game in mint condition in the box. The original box still in the packaging, like unopened packaging. Still has the plastic on it is what I'm saying. Gonna need some C4 to take out the bunker to the north. It might have gotten squeezed a little bit. I've moved several times. Ay, don't use your C4. I'm guessing blue is like the really tough enemies. Ay. It's a good thing I figured out where that run button was. That's kind of a nifty trick. Look at that. How it just rescales like that. So you really notice. You really notice that's like your thing that you're supposed to pick up. We're seeing some repeated tiles here. This is a little bit wonky. I don't know what to think of that. Well done. With your help, we may have destroyed the enemy bunker. Head to that escape pod. Okay. Obviously where to go there. Right there. Boom. TechCom. Hey, nice. So I did not do the animations for this, but I was responsible for doing a lot of these like interface things, like the 45-degree angles on everything. Super high tech. Back then it was like, oh, you want something to look futuristic? Use 45-degree angles and a futuristic font. I forget what this font is called, but you have done well. It is time to start acquiring the time machine components that will allow us to send you to your past. Yeah, see? We spent some time in the future war because we're like, hey, this is the stuff that people want to see, is like fighting robots. Hey. Oh, they're just zipping in everywhere now, huh? All willy-nilly, aren't you? Hey. Hey. I keep thinking those are gold or something. I'm trying to play it like Gauntlet or something. Technically, we could have done like a Gauntlet type of a game. And it's not like working on Game Boy Advance games was the most desired role, but I would tell you this. The time that I spent at Tanico was some of the most fun I ever had working in video games. And I got a chance to work on some pretty big video games. Sure, it was a job, and we were just doing what we could to make our publisher happy. But we were problem solving, and then we'd take a little time to play Medal of Honor during our lunch hour together, and we'd all go out for dinners together, and then we would plan, like, what are we going to do next? What's our next big project, you know? And we'd try to collaborate. It was easier to collaborate when not everybody's trying to get, like, a big, massive promotion, or some of the things that happen with big studios. I don't need to go into it too much, because I mean, it's got its moments too, don't get me wrong. It's nice when you're working on something that everybody recognizes, but it's equally fun to work on something when you're just working with your buddies and joking around, and they know what they're doing, you know what you're doing. And I kind of got that with Twilight Monk now. Like, I'm really structuring a lot of Twilight Monk a lot like the way that Tanico was structured, you know, all those years ago. And in many ways, I was always just trying to get back to what I had experienced when I was working at this small little team doing Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. But now we get to work on Twilight Monk, so hey, not too bad. And this was the game that opened my opportunities and taught me how to be a professional artist in the game business, I would say. Like, this was where I got my chops. So it's worth sharing and exploring, you know, and sharing it with you. Even though I look at it now and I'm like, you know, it's not gorgeous. And it's certainly not treated as like a, you know, a treasure of the industry or anything. But again, it has these fun little things about it, you know. I can honestly say I don't know that I've ever played all the way through it, though. When you're working on a game like that, you're so close to it. Like, I'm so critical of my own artwork, it's hard for me to look at it, you know, especially now, you know, but I'm kind of detached from it now. And I think there's some neat stuff, like the shape language and the patterns, and I kind of wonder if I do like another Aikida game or something, will I take some inspiration from the way that I designed some of the walls and things for this game, or the user interface. That would be really interesting. Oh man, these guys just keep coming. Oh, C4. You walked right into it, brother. Look at that. Oh shit. Okay, here we go. It's time to rock. Got some grenades, and I'm wasting them. Don't waste the grenades, man. Oh, it's hard to aim them. Super difficult to aim them. Okay, what do we got? Thanks for the diversion. You bought me the time I needed to hack this door. Oh yeah, I was just the diversion? Come on, man. Cold-blooded. Alright, clear out this area and fast. You don't have much time left to rendezvous with your forward scout. He will show you a way out of this area. Pretty neat, though, how... So, it's tricky to do... Like, we knew we couldn't do cutscenes. When you've got 3 months to make a game, I think it was 3 months. I keep saying that, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it was like, did we have 6 months? It had to have been. I know it wasn't. It was not a reasonable dev time. Because like when you think about it, 3 months, it's like, what do you get? A week to do each level? 2 weeks to do each level? Like you can't really do unexpected, innovative things there. You know, like in many ways, I kind of wonder if it just happened to be that the studio needed to, they like had a preset budget for, well, we've got to put a game on all the platforms. It's a movie tie-in, so the studio wants a Game Boy game. It's like you're adding to their overall portfolio. You're not really, ain't nobody hire, back, especially back then, like movie licensed games, ain't nobody hiring anybody to do like some, you know, innovative thing. GoldenEye was the first time that we ever really saw a game based on a license that was really good. And that they diverged so much, and they didn't expect that game to be good. It was sort of by accident. And not by accident, but I believe the developers were... oh man, this is like a boss or something. I believe the developers were just putting in a lot of overtime on it, and just like, especially the multiplayer was not something that they had even scheduled for that. So a lot of times with these movie tie-in games, the studio's taking on the job just because they're like, well, we need to keep the doors open, we need to keep the studio afloat, and we might as well be doing something creative with it rather than something that is like, we might as well be doing something creative rather than not keeping the lights on. So a lot of it is like you're biding your time. You're biding your time so that you can pitch a game that you are excited about and that you can innovate with. And you really hope that maybe the extra time you put in will buy enough confidence from the publisher that they can give you a little bit more of a budget so that you can hire more talent or another employee or make your game a little bit more innovative and test some things. Because innovation requires a lot of experimentation. Experimentation is expensive. Oh man, okay, I do not remember this part, but I do remember painting the tiles. Wow. Ooh, hey, that's kind of cool, actually. Look at that background. Look at how it fades off to blackness down there. Man, for only knowing Photoshop for like a year, that's not too bad. And I never had a lesson. Fake it till you make it. Is this a door? Can I go in there? I can't go in there. Okay. Take this key card and go back to the previous platform. You only have 30 seconds to destroy the portal while I sabotage the one in the reactors. Oh my god, get the key card. Oh my god, go back, go back, go back. It's a good thing I know how to run. Oh my god, oh my god. Alright, all I can do is kick. I think I'm supposed to be breaking these devices, those things. It's like a control panel. You made it in time. Alright, cool. Good work taking out that portal, but Skynet has sent in reinforcements. There's another portal on the platform east of you. Of course there is. Oh, shizzle. Oh man, I'm down to my robot meat. I only have 1 health left. Oh, I am in bad shape. Oh, I think I completed the mission? Skynet is trying to shut down the power in this sector. Find the secondary generator switch and activate it. Okay. There's a generator switch around here? Oh, I'm glad that didn't kill me in 1 hit. What's happening? Is this not the generator switch? Oh, I did. I went the wrong way. Oh, crap. What the? Oh, ye crap. Oh, crap. It's really tough, man. Really tough. We made this game way too hard. Way too hard. Okay. Run through. There we go. I'm kind of rushing through stuff. Okay, we're going to try to get you to the surface. Contain the Skynet forces until we finish sabotaging the bulkhead. Okay. So, I think we had to get a lot of mileage out of each level, and I commend the director for some really tough decisions here. Like, having these sort of horde mode It's before horde mode, but like, hey, you got to take out a bunch of these enemies before you can move forward. I guess that's kind of, they did that a lot in beat 'em up games. But yeah, like having these rooms where you have to just take out a whole squad of enemies, that's how you get the mileage out of the game, man, for sure. But look at that, nighttime or darkened. Like we faded all of the palette to a darker palette. That's really interesting. There were some really neat tricks that we had to do, by the way, with, oh my God, we did so many textures. Look at that. You can kind of tell that's my work. You can kind of tell from the shapes, just the shapes of the brushes, but then look at all this noise. I didn't know how to paint concrete. I remember struggling with that so much. How the fuck do you paint concrete at 16 pixels? Now I would, well, we couldn't do it totally like realistic, and we couldn't do it stylized because it is Terminator. It had to be done. It could have been done like a dark gray though, like a flat dark gray. Okay, look, there's sorting issues here. Oh, that car is definitely my art. Look at that burned out car. I really just wanted to do stylized stuff, but I kept getting kind of trapped doing more urban or like realistic. The next game I worked on immediately after this was, well, I was hired at Capcom to do Maximo 3, but then that got canceled. And I ended up, oh shizzle, I got a truck. I did not design this truck. I think this was also Cliff. I don't know if he designed it or just built the 3D model. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, my next gig immediately after this was Maximo. Well, I'm on a timer. I better hurry. And, oh shit, I didn't know I could jump out. I think I just blew up my truck. Yeah, okay, so the next game I worked on was Maximo, and then that got canceled. And then the game after that was Final Fight Streetwise. And then that was like an urban gangster brawler. Not even my style. I don't know why I kept getting stuck on kind of projects that were more photorealistic or trying to be photorealistic. That was nowhere near anything like what I did. Coming out of Jinko and doing American style comic books that were super stylized. I was known for doing stylized stuff in comics. Oh, I am about to die. How am I not dead? How am I not dead? How am I not dead? Oh my god. How am I doing this? How is this even possible? Hi. Oh, that is definitely one of my palm trees. Look at that. I think I still have that artwork in high res. But yeah, I was working on, oh shoot, I'm trying to like play the game and tell a story and stuff. Final Fight Streetwise, and then after that, I finally got like a stylized gig working on World of Warcraft. And I do want to play that here on my channel. I don't even have my account anymore. A kind of little bit of a ripoff. They tell you when you get hired at Blizzard that you get a lifetime subscription to World of Warcraft. Not true. Not true. When you leave for any reason, they suspend your lifetime subscription. Yep. Yep. It was a lie. The lifetime subscription is a lie. They say the cake is a lie. The lifetime subscription is also a lie. But this isn't a video about that. This is a video about Terminator 3. And it's intense battles. Oh my god. If you didn't have the run switched on, forget it. This is almost like one of those bullet hell games. I think I got 15 seconds. I better just haul ass. I'm not even going to fight. I'm going to haul ass. Yeah, I got 8 seconds. There's no way. I think I was supposed to be hauling ass for what? 8. I made it. That's how you do that. That's how you play this game. Okay, there's a giant FK kite just north of here. Take it down immediately. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Memories of a time when we were poor. Da, 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 game development memories. Yeah, man. Can I get past these? Oh yeah, you gotta use the grenades. Ah, C4. Do it. Boosh. Boosh. Is that enough? Oh, it's not big enough. Gotta blow a bigger hole. Yes. So, why did I leave Tanico? Why did I leave working at... If it was such a cool project and such a cool company, why would I leave, right? Well, the fact is that this was right around 2001, I want to say, 2002 maybe. And if I recall, there was a recession that happened, and it was the dot-com bubble, blew up. And so all of these investors were like, hey, every project that we have in development, we're canceling. So I remember after we finished this project, I had taken a trip out to Japan, and I just got lost in Tokyo, didn't speak the language, and I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, because, I basically, like, recession, hey, guess what, you don't have a job anymore, what are you going to do? Oh, I can get in this. Okay. Okay, how do I get in? How do I fire? I don't know how to use this. I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? That's really weird. I have 0 ammo. Why give you... Is this the ammo for that gun? Yeah, turret ammo. That's just weird. That is a weird design choice, dude. And I'm probably going to die before I can get in this thing. Here we go. Ah, okay. Maybe because it's too easy with the ammo. Oh, crap. So I'm wandering around Tokyo. I'm reading all these books about philosophy and, like, what do you want your life to be? And this is before YouTube or the internet or any of these, like, life guru guys or anything like that. I have no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I just decided, like, I want to work in video games. I want to make a real go at it. But I didn't really have any real connections. Interestingly enough, I met some people from, like, Squaresoft in Tokyo, and I met some people from various different game companies there. Because oddly enough, it's like a real small town if you're an American. Or if you speak English, it's like a real small town because people, well, at least in 2002 it was. And so I kind of wrote down in my journal, and I was doing a bunch of drawings, and I wrote down in my journal, like, I really just wanted to really pursue my dream of starting a game studio. And I said to myself, well, the best way to do that, by the way, this is not my art. This is, like, I think stock art from the studio. But I decided that I was going to work in games, and I didn't have any contacts, so I asked my my former boss at the time, which was Patrick from Tanico, like, hey, any game studios that I could, maybe apply to? You got any connections that maybe I could use and to get a shot in the game business? And he actually suggested that I contact the studio head at Capcom because they were very impressed by a game pitch that we had worked on. We used to put together pitch decks and shop them around to Atari or Activision or whoever at the time, that he could get meetings with. And usually they were based on their IPs. So, like, we wouldn't have the license to do their IP, but we'd build a bunch of assets using their IP. So, like, what you would do when you're pitching somebody else's, like, a licensed game or something, like if you wanted to pitch a Spyro game or something to Activision, you'd have to build a demo. And then you'd have to put together a pitch deck, and you'd have to have a budget, and you'd have to show them this is how much your burn rate is, and this is how much it costs, and this is how long it would take to do, and here's the team, and here's the, like, all the things that would convince the biz dev guys, the business development guys at that company, that you could, one, finish the project, And if you've got past projects that you finished, then it's very likely to go through. But if you don't, then you've got to have something that convinces them, oh, look, it's Peanut right there. Peanut was there. Or is it Peanut? Anyway, that was my old rapper name. And then I changed it to Plum Nasty later. But so what you would do is you would pitch these games to the license holders, and then sometimes they would give you a little bit of a budget, or the publisher would give you a little bit of a budget, because sometimes they're just the business folks and they don't really have a studio in mind to develop the game. They just know that the brand has value. And they're looking for a studio, a developer that gets the brand and understands the consumer that wants that brand. Yeah, look at those palm trees. That's totally how I draw palm trees. I think they're the same style of palm trees I did in Diablo 3, by the way. If you look that up side by side, it's very similar. But so I learned about that, and then through the pitch that we had put together for Capcom, they were very impressed with the artwork that I had done for it. So the studio head was looking to replace the previous character designer on Maximo, and so I got a chance to work with them. They hired me right on. And I probably will play Final Fight Streetwise here on my channel just to kind of showcase some of the things about that and tell a few stories and things. I've never really seen any playthroughs of this game, which tells me that it's probably the least, I don't want to say the least popular game that I've ever worked on, because like I said, I think there is a small cult following for it, but it's more of like collectors will buy into it. This is surprising because I would have thought there would be collision on this. It's one of those things that maybe the rest of the team, when they look back on it, were probably like, oh man, why didn't we do some collision on that? Like, I think it's supposed to be an airplane wing with like a jet underneath the side. I think that's what I was trying to paint. Hard to remember after all this time. I think I still have the original files somewhere for the tile sets themselves, but when you're doing tile sets, you have to make everything line up to tile, and sometimes it doesn't tile very well. But buildings like this are particularly difficult to do with tiles because they set on the ground, and sometimes you get into the layering and you'll notice like it's on a different layer. But it's not actually on a different layer. What's happening is it's actually swapping what's in the foreground and what's in the background. I believe. I think that's how it works. Oh, I was able to turn off that thing. Okay, head into this manhole and see where it leads. So most of our game ended up being in the future war. We've managed to patch into Skynet, access the commuter terminal south of here while we're still under their radar. Oh, I gotta go back through the manhole, I think. Yeah, okay. Oh, no. I don't think I can stop to fight all these guys, man. Hey, there's the computer. To hijack one of Skynet's machines. Okay. Oh, cool. Hey, that's all right. You can't go through collisions with that, though. Wait a second. What am I doing with it, though? I'm not entirely sure. It can shoot. Is that just to let you know? Oh my god. Oh my god. What? Why did it do that? Is this the time machine? No way. No, it just gives you new flesh. That's all it is. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of the game design. I haven't gotten this far in like 20 years also. But yeah, most of our game was in the future war because that's just the more interesting stuff. And you also get to blow up robots. That's just so much more fun. So I think it's also, that was like kind of a difficult and probably a good game design choice to like, you know, give you the first hour or two is in the future war. I will say like, for its money though, like if I were a really big Terminator fan, I don't know if I would have shoveled out like $40 or I don't know what Game Boy Advance games cost back then. Oh, it says I gotta go north. I might have thought like $20, maybe? You might be able to find this on eBay. Or there are other means, obviously, that one could get their hands on such a game. So I gotta figure out how the heck can you blow up the fence? I don't think so. Okay, I'm kind of like going in circles here. So this is where that radar doesn't really help, does it? No, I don't think... Because, like, it's saying, oh, go... Yeah, go this way. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was... that I could do that. Okay. There we go. Now we're on track. Yeah, look at them rocks, man. Oh, yeah. Patting myself on the back there. Look at that. I guess it's Future War California, specifically because of the palm trees. I remember that blew my mind when I first moved to Los Angeles. Fell in love with the palm trees. We managed to shut down Skynet's radar for a short while. This should buy you some time to make your way to Hollywood. Find a vehicle quickly for whatever. Might not make it. Okay. Okay, so they really want you to jump in a vehicle. That means also maybe don't try to fight everything. Oh no, I have to. Oh man, those rockets are just heat seekers. Oh my god. Oh, how did I do that? Here we go. Oh my god, I'm running over every mine in town. How is this a road? This is like the most jagged road ever. You know, kudos to the game designer here for getting so much mileage out of my tile set. Oh, oh yeah. Watch out. No. Oh, I feel like I should go back for that health pack, but no. Just go forward. I am playing it safe, man. Should I swap out my van? Or my truck? Oh, I might have to. Oh, shizzle. Huh? Yeah, not too bad. I am not going to make it if I stop. No time for love, Dr. Jones. Okay, welcome to Hollywood, Terminator. Not pretty, is it? Okay. I liked Hollywood back in 2002. I don't know about now. I don't think I can handle it. Had some good memories there. Being 22 years old, 23 years old, living in Hollywood was a blast. In 2002. Okay. 2001, I guess. I guess actually I lived in Hollywood in 99. And I moved to Long Beach in like 2001, I think. Ay, anyway, okay. Oh god, okay. Oh, look at that thing. Oh, that's cool. It's like a water tower. I forgot I painted that. Oh, yeah, look at all this stuff too. Oh crap. That's clever. You sneaky designers. This is quite a departure from my Metal Gear Solid playthroughs, huh? Okay. Oh, yeah, destructible wall. Break through, quick. Do it. Give me the key. Objective complete. Oh, is that the Hollywood sign? I forgot. I forgot all about that. Wow. Yeah, because that's, you know... Oh! Yeah. Man, I don't have enough grenades for these fools. Oh, there's too many of them. I'm gonna lose my robot meat. Okay. Can you jump in this? What's the point of that? I can't, like, move. It kind of looks like I'm breaking something here. Or am I just wasting ammo? Oh, you can. That is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to collect the ammo. That's some poor tiling right there. That almost looks like it glitched out. There's something not working about that. See, I didn't understand dithering. I didn't understand how to, like, get clean looking pixel art. So it ends up just kind of feeling like low res, like just scaled down kind of pixel art. And in hindsight, you know, I'd love to go back and just redo. Not redo, but I guess what I'm trying to say is if I could have done a sequel, I would have learned. I would have figured out how to do this better, you know, with the background art. So much better. But Okay, I'm just gonna do like, I want to finish this mission in the future war stuff. Objective complete. Oh, laser weapon. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, crap. Oh, it's not helping. Oh, there are too many bullets. These guys are way tougher. Way tough. Okay. Oh, crap. I'm not doing so hot. Oh, can I just go through the manhole? You cannot. They're like, you know what? You better do something before you can get into the manhole, but we're not going to tell you what that is. Good thing they didn't make it too difficult. I mean, you die a lot, but, you know. Let's see, I'm going to need you to cover me while I hack the Skynet server farm. I'm not going to do another mission like that. Okay, so a lot of what you're doing when it's your very first gig as an artist in the games industry anyway, is really just absorbing. You're like a sponge. You're just trying to take in as much from everybody around you as you possibly can while simultaneously trying to just do your best at every turn and trying to not change the way they do things, you know. So that was really difficult. And then I ended up finding myself in an art director role simply because it was like, well, I think at the time I was just the best artist on the team, I think is the reasoning or the rationale behind that. But I don't know that that was qualified. You know, I don't know that I had the qualifications to manage. But again, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I was very fortunate to find an opportunity with somebody who put a lot of faith in me. And I never like to just fall back on that because, you know, hey, you know, I feel like I worked hard and earned a lot of what I have, but I wouldn't be where I am without the help of some people. And Patrick Charbonnet was my mentor. I give so much credit to that guy for helping me out early in my career and giving me opportunities and also teaching me how to manage a team in a way that isn't just about the bottom line. Really, making games is about the team, and it's about the lives of the people on your team. It's not just about making games. And so many people get, I think, really they get wrapped up in the game industry and they think it's about shining themselves and building a name for themselves, and that's actually quite a lonely existence. You know, I've fallen into that trap at different times in my career as well. But when I think back to that time when I was working at that small little studio just making Terminator 3 with some pals, I think that, you know, that shaped so much of what I wanted out of a career in the game industry and what I had always imagined it could be like. And admittedly, we had our challenges. You know, it wasn't always fun to work on licensed stuff. And, you know, God forbid, if we had kept going, maybe I would have ended up on, you know, like Mickey Mouse Racing or something. And that's a possibility too. You know, but you find a way to have fun with it no matter what it is. And then you also find a way to make it creative and inventive. And the problems are not problems at all. They're actually fun challenges that you get an opportunity to try to solve. And if you get really good at it, you almost look for those things. And then you find ways to turn what other people wouldn't value, such as working on a licensed game maybe, into something that you can actually be proud of and look back on very fondly. And that's where I'm at with Terminator anyway. Terminator 3, The Rise of the Machines on the Gameboy Advance. Don't ask me about the movie. Don't ask me about the any of the other games that were based on this movie or any of that, or this, you know, the same story or any of that stuff. I don't know those things. All I know is this small little game that we made for the Game Boy Advance in 2002 or whatever it was, and it started my career in the game industry. I'll be forever grateful to Tanico Games for that. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on Terminator Rise of the Machines. Did you play this game? Would you ever work on a pixel art game? Have you ever worked on a pixel art game? Do you enjoy these kind of games? And, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. So, please feel free to drop those in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, ciao.